Hi, this is Julie. In this video we'll be taking a look at graphing a linear equation in slope-intercept form where the slope is a negative whole number. For this example we're going to graph the equation y equals negative 3x plus 2. So as always I want to start with my y-intercept, in this case in this equation b equals 2. So I'm going to mark an intercept at the point 0, 2. Mark that on the graph there. And then the next thing that I want to look at, as always, is the slope. In this case, in this equation, m equals negative 3, so our slope is negative 3. And with this equation, I want to think about a couple of things with this slope. The first thing is that negative 3 is a whole number. So I want to think of this slope as a fraction, so I'm going to put negative 3 over 1. That means that when I go to use the slope to graph another point here, I'm going to go down 3 because my rise is negative 3, and I'm going to go to the right 1 space because the run is 1. So starting at the y-intercept, I'll go down 3 units and to the right 1 unit. So I'm going to mark a point at 1, negative 1. So I'll mark that on my graph here. And then I also, just to put another point on the graph here, remember we can think about, with a negative slope, we can put that negative sign into the denominator instead of the numerator. So I can also think about the slope as being positive 3 over negative 1. And so going back to my y-intercept, for example, with a rise of positive 3, I'm going to go up 3 units. And a run of negative 1, I'm going to go to the left 1 unit. I'm going to go ahead and mark a point at negative 1, 5. So now I have 3 points that I can use to graph my line. I'm going to use a straight edge and I'll draw a line on here. And remember, put arrows on both ends of that line. A little bit of a rough line. This is just a sketch, but you kind of get the idea. And we've got a line now that graphs the equation y equals negative 3x plus 2. In the next video, we'll take one last example, or one last look at the slope-intercept form.